Stand by.
I want you to look at this picture. We were showing this on July 1st when we got that picture rights to show it on the air. That is Hurricane Beryl as a Category 4 storm with 130-mile-per-hour winds. Looking right down the barrel at it, you saw right down the eye. Pretty amazing. It was captured from space. NASA astronaut, flight engineer, and U.S. Navy Commander Matthew Dominick took this out-of-the-world photo from the ISS. That's a bird's-eye view of about 250 miles up. Matthew actually joins us right now from the ISS. Matthew, thank you so much for joining us on Fox Weather. One of the most exciting things I've got to do here. This is fantastic. Tell me about that time you saw a barrel from just overhead.
Oh, wow. It was a pretty impressive day. You know, you could see all around me. We've got all kinds of stuff going on and experiments. And flew down to a place we have a window, a cupola, to take a picture because I knew that the hurricane was there. And ended up, one of the cameras started failing, so I had to pop the battery, put a new battery in, set it up to take multiple shots on a single release so I could get multiple different exposures to try and capture it just right. We're going so fast over the Earth that you only have a couple minutes to get it right, and got lucky in a couple shots. The exposure was right, the angle was right, and ended up taking the pictures and downlinking them to Earth, but then flew into my crew quarters to call my wife and said, there's kind of a big hurricane coming to our house, and we ended up losing parts of our roof and our fence. So it's kind of interesting. You take a picture of the thing that ends up taking down part of your house.
Oh, I hate to hear that. Absolutely. Was this just by happenstance? Did you just guys happen to pass over, or did you deviate your flight pattern just to go over the top of it?
I'd love to have the capability to deviate our flight pattern that much, but we do not. Luckily, we make a lap around Earth every 90 minutes, and so we cover most of the Earth multiple times a day. So I was watching the map to see when it would track and when we would have a direct shot. So we were pretty lucky to go right over the top of the eye, and I can tell you, man, it was all kinds of weird feelings of trying to take a picture looking straight down into the eye of the hurricane through one of the windows we have on the bottom of the space station.
Yeah, it's just luck. I thought you planned it perfectly because you went right over the eye of a Category 4 storm. I think that's amazing. So that's a huge spiraling storm that you can see. I mean, it sprawls almost from horizon to horizon. Are there other natural phenomena you're able to see when you're up there?
Oh, so many natural phenomena. Aurora are one of my favorites. When we had the solar events a couple months ago, it was pretty rough on us because we were in a situation where our orbit was such that we were always in daylight, so we couldn't see it. But the past few nights, we've had some solar activity, and the aurora have been incredible. And luckily, we get nighttime every 90 minutes, so we kind of time it just right. The aurora down by Antarctica has been incredibly beautiful and been able to take some great shots. So that's just the tip of the iceberg for stuff we can see from space station.
How long have you been up there? Were you able to see that huge geomagnetic storm we had just a couple months ago?
Yeah, so I've been up here since March, and that's what I was talking about, that geomagnetic storm. We were in an orbit such that we couldn't see the aurora. But now with the geomagnetic storms going on now, we are able to see the aurora, which is pretty awesome. But it hurt me a little bit to see all my friends on the ground capture and see an aurora at unusual latitudes, and we couldn't see it up here. But we've been seeing it recently, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. These are the pictures that you did take right here. I have a question for you. I've always wanted to know this. You always know where you are at all times over the Earth. Do you ever wake up after sleeping and think, okay, I'm not going to look at any monitor. I'm just going to look down and see if I could see the landmass and pinpoint exactly where I am? Do you play that game?
That is a very common game up here. When you first get up here, you're terrible at it. But a lot of the astronauts I've flown with have been up here for a long time and have a lot of experience. And you get really good at identifying where you are, not just by shapes, by color. Like certain parts of the Earth, certain parts of Northern Africa and Asia, and I'm actually Butch is back there telling us we're going over to New Zealand right now. You just get to know it by color and not just shape, and so you learn with time for sure.
That is amazing. I appreciate you taking the time out and talking with us, Matthew. It's such a great picture, and we use it over and over again because it's so great. Do me a favor, if you do come over any more stuff, any more big hurricanes, please send them to Fox Weather. Get the app and just send it to us. We appreciate it. The app and just send it to us. We appreciate it.
You betcha. Thank you so much.
Station is using ACR. This concludes the event.
Thank you to all the participants. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.